Hello, hello. Welcome back to Yoga with Paige, and welcome to day 5 of 6 if you've been following along with this strength series. Today we are focusing on the quads. So it's a lot. We're doing a lot. It's going to be a fun practice. We have some fun transitions and some different postures as opposed to the prior few classes we've just had. So whenever you're ready, we can get started in bound angle. We're starting here today in bound angle to open up the hips. I recommend butterflying the legs a little bit. We're going to be here for a moment or two. Really try to open the groins. Don't force yourself, but let them open. And I forgot to mention as well that this class will require a little bit of room, so make sure you have ample space to the side, to the front, behind you. Maybe move to the center of the room if you can. We're going to be moving it around. So maybe find a static hold here. Use the opposition of your feet to pull the chest closer. Sending the knees down into the mat. Letting thoughts drift away. Tuning into the breath in the body. One more breath here. And then gently release. Coming onto the knees. Sitting up in thunderbolt pose at the back of the mat. Find one breath here. And on your inhale, raise up onto the knees. Arms come overhead. Squeeze the glutes. Send the quadriceps forward. And release. Back up. And back down. We're taking 5 of these. Number 3, squeeze and release. Already kicking them into action, already warming them up. Beautiful. Last one. And back down. Inhale, raise the arms up. And drop the right hand down. Left reaches overhead. One breath here. And then exhale to send that hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand reaches back for a little spine awakening. On your next exhale, return back to center. Reach the arms up, big reach, inhale. Exhale, drop the left hand down by the side. And plant the palm on the other side of the leg, finding your twist, reaching up through the top of the head. Beautiful. Reach the hands behind the feet, plant the palms. Exhale, send the hips up, away from the heels as we slowly kind of tilt our head back. Our main focus is on the quadriceps here, so really squeeze through the glutes to send them up even higher. Feeling a nice stretch in the top of the thigh, running down to the knee, up to the psoas. One more breath, keep squeezing, maybe send the hips a little bit higher. And on your exhale, release the hips, lift up, and come into a tabletop. We're doing things a little bit different today. This one's going to be fun. So gaze in between your hands. Take the right foot up, so we're on the knee. Reach back, grabbing for the ankle, pulling it into the hips. You might feel a stretch here, or you might want to lift the knee completely off the mat, balancing on your left leg, pushing through the mat. Again, focusing on the quadricep, not how high you get your leg. Really pulling the ankle into the hips. One more breath. And then exhale, release it, but keep it up. Keep it up in the air. Plant the right hand down. Reach the left out and swivel, squeezing your glutes. Swivel the leg around so it's extended out to the side for awkward airplane pose. Hold here, firing up the abdominals. One more breath. Squeeze and exhale. Plant the foot. Inhale, reach up, lifting the arms. Squeeze the scapula together. Coming into a little gate pose flow. Let the right hand travel down the leg as the left reaches overhead. Then windmill around, plant the left fingertips, reach the right arm over. Connect to the core to lift back up and find gate pose. Left arm overhead. Moving with the breath, windmill back. Keeping the foot planted, or maybe lifting up into a little half moon variation. And grabbing onto the ankle again, pulling that leg behind you. Create as much space as you can in the hips, opening through the hips and the quadricep, finding what feels good here, using your balance. Last breath. Exhale, straighten the leg, release the hand, and come back into our tabletop. Ground down through the hands, pick up the left ankle, and reach back for it, pulling it into the hips. Make this practice your own. See what feels good, see what you need. Maybe you need to lift the knee a little bit. There we go. Practicing your awareness. Using your breath to pull you back in when your mind wanders. Beautiful. And last breath. Here we go. Exhale. Keep that left leg lifted. Plant the left hand. Right arm comes out and slowly send that left leg out to the left side. Hold here. Squeeze everything in. One breath. And on your next exhale, gently plant that left foot. Reach up nice and tall. And exhale, side body stretch, gate pose. Use the core to windmill the arms around and go to the other side. Nice and strong, reach up, gate pose. Maybe feeling a little bit more open now. And taking your stretch here, maybe a half moon. Or reaching for the ankle. Opening through the hips. Use your breath to steady yourself. One last breath. And exhale to release. Gently come back to all fours. Tuck the toes and send the hips up. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Bend one knee and then the other. And you can have a little fun of your own here. We're going to take a sun salutation, but if that doesn't feel good to you, maybe take some spinal rolls. So if you're going to come with me, travel up to the top of the mat and forward fold. You just want to wake up the spine. Inhale, halfway lift, reach the crown of the head towards the front of the room, shoulders back. And exhale, fold. The blood rush to the head. Inhale, reach the arms up, 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 palms meet. And exhale, mountain, palms forward. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, flat back dive. Halfway lift. And plant the hands, step back to a nice high plank. Chaturanga, elbows in by the sides. Beautiful. Chest opener. And exhale, downward facing dog. Make your way to the top of the mat. And roll up to standing. With a nice exhale at the top. You can stay facing the front of the mat, but I'll show you this one, coming into some little plies here for the quadriceps. So we want to place the heels together, toes pointing out to the corners. Yours might not be as open as mine. I was a dancer, so I used to do this a lot. So legs together, heels as together as you can. Lift up through the crown of the head, find length. Then slowly bend the knees, sinking down to as far as you can go without the heels lifting off the ground. Then squeeze everything back up to standing. We'll take 10 of these, so that was number 2. So find some fun here. Let your arms kind of flow where they want to go. Maybe overhead was 5, 6, squeeze at the top, 7, 8, 9, imagine you're up on a ballerina stage, 10, and face the toes back to the front of the mat, mountain pose. Reach the right knee up into the chest, give it a nice little hug. And then have the hands find the knee, draw the knee across the chest for a little twist, and then open it wide to the side. 3 of these. Open. Working through the hip joint, maybe we want to release the hands, use our balance instead. And after the 3rd one, reach for the ankle, send the knee down, feeling a beautiful opening in the front of the leg. Reach the left arm up, pull the ankle into the hips, hold here. Once you've found your balance, we're going to try something a little fun. So ground down through the left foot, slowly begin to shift your weight forward. So the right leg comes behind you, still holding on to the ankle, trying to get your body parallel like warrior 3. Hold here. 1 breath. And on your next exhale, come back. Plant the right foot, feet hip width apart. Coming into chair, sweep the arms up, sink down into the hips, slightly tuck the tailbone in. Ground down through all 4 corners of the feet. Hold here. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. 1 more breath. And on your next exhale, twist to the left, letting the right hand come to the outside of the left knee. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Maybe you reach the fingertips down to the mat. And gently step the right leg back. Plant the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Big twist. Hold here. Send that right heel back. Then drop the right knee. Lift the chest and reach for the ankle. Pulling it into the hips. Using your knee for balance here, if you need to. Maybe facing the front of the mat, using both hands. Taking a moment to stretch it out. And exhale, gently replace the right foot. Tuck the toes. Nice and strong, sweep the arms up, raise up, come into a warrior 2. Told you we get fun. Beautiful, sink the hips down. Inhale, straighten the legs. Come into Skandasana to the back of the mat. So bend this right leg, left foot flexes up towards the face. Sink down. Hands at heart center, lift the chest. Right fingertips find the mat, left reach overhead. We can stay here, or we can maybe find a little bind, wrapping the arms around the right knee. And on your next exhale, gently release. Turn to the back of the mat. Extended side angle, plant that left foot, reach the left arm overhead. We can be up on the knee as well if we need to. 1 breath here. And then turn to frame the right foot, stepping up, coming into standing splits. Does not matter how far your left leg goes up. Square the hips. Use your fingertips to find balance. And then bend that knee once. Extend. Twice. Extend. 3 times. Extend. And we can find a little half moon by planting the right hand, squaring the hips, trying to stack them together, Finding your balance, moving slow, reaching the left fingertips up, maybe taking the gaze with it. Challenging yourself here. Embracing any wiggles, wobbles, falls, trembles. You gaining strength, beautiful. You can come into a sugarcane pose by bending the knee, reaching for the ankle. Please modify as you see fit, but I encourage you to try these poses. You might just surprise yourself. Press through the hand to open the hips and the quadricep. One breath here. Exhale, release the ankle, step back to the back of the mat, turning to the long edge of the mat, point the toes to the corners. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink into goddess pose. Cactus the arms. Take a moment to reset here. Sinking down nice and strong. And then raising up onto the toes, the balls of the feet. We might need to walk the feet in a little bit more. Hands can travel to the knees. You're doing amazing. I'm feeling the burn. One more breath. And release. Straighten everything up. Turn the toes in. Walk them underneath the hips and find little hip circles. Kind of wiggle it out a little bit before we do the other side. Beautiful. Get them around. All right. Feeling nice and warmed up. Make your way to the top of the mat. Finding your pliés, heels together. Lift up, inhale, and exhale. 1, 2. Maybe these feel a little bit more natural to you now. 5, halfway there. And you don't have to go at my pace. Take your attention to these big muscles in the legs. Beautiful. Make this last one big. I might have counted to 11. Here we go. Turn the toes back up. Mountain pose. Left knee comes into the chest. Big hug. And then open through the hip. Cross it over the body and open. Using the hands or letting it go by itself. Your choice. Always your choice. And then on the third, reaching back for the ankle. Take your time here. Find your stability. Use your breath. And then reach the right arm up, if that works for you. One breath here. And when you're ready, slowly shift the weight forward. Using your arm extended in front of you to help you balance. Maybe sweep it behind. One breath. And exhale, chair pose. Nice. Inhale, arms up. Tuck the tailbone in, sink down. Come on, go a little bit lower. Fire up those quads. Send them some love. And on your next exhale, revolve to the right. Big, big, big reach. And then plant the left fingertips, step the left foot back. Big, high twist. And exhale, drop that knee down, reach for the foot, bring it in. Find your breath. Little chance to rest here in between all the work. We have some more work coming. Beautiful. And on your next out breath, lovingly release that left foot. Come up and make your way into your warrior two. Nice and strong. Sink down. Inhale, straighten all of your limbs, and exhale, Skandasana with the left leg bent. Flex the right foot up, find your space, and then reach the right fingertips overhead. Staying here, or maybe finding your bind, trying whatever variation you did on the other side. Maybe noticing one's a little bit more tight than the other. It's usually the case. And exhale, release. Turn to frame that left foot. Extended side angle, ground down through the right foot. Reach overhead. And then frame the left, stepping up, kick the right leg behind you, nice and square hips. Breathe here, trying to get the chest as close to the left leg as you can. And then bend the right knee once, straighten. Make it strong. 2, straighten. 3, straighten. Beautiful. And when you feel ready to try your half moon, plant the left fingertips, start to square the hips, stacking them. Reach the right fingertips up to the sky, maybe taking your gaze with it. For an extra challenge, you can try to release the left fingertips from the mat and try a floating half moon. But again, no judgment if you fall. Here we go, last breath. And bend the knee for sugarcane pose. Pressing your foot into the hand, helping you to open. And exhale, release. Step that right foot to the other side of the mat. And square your toes to the long edge, hopefully a little bit more graceful than that. Nice and straight. Exhale, bend the right knee, side lunge. Sink down. Lift up and over to the left. One more time, each side. Right knee bends, sink down. And the left. And straighten up and turn to the front of the mat. Step it up, mountain pose. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Preparing for a little standing balance sequence. This is the last part, I swear, then you're almost done. You're doing great. Mountain pose. Take a little check-in, see how you're doing thus far. And this is the portion where we want some extra room in front and behind us. So if you need to scoot back a little bit on the mat, give yourself some room. Hands, palms to the front of the mat. Inhale, come into chair again. Sink down. But this time, slowly take your hips down and try to tap your heels. Try to keep the heels on the mat by using your quadriceps to take you up and down. And then really rise through, press through the feet to lift up. Come in through chair and sink down. Beautiful, tap. And if you need your heels to lift up, that's totally fine. Just try it without. Beautiful, one more. Come into chair pose first, and then slowly sink the hips down. Feel the burn. Enjoy the burn. Then reach back up, chair pose. Ground down through this left foot. Take the right up and cross it over the knee, coming into half chair, hands heart center. Sink down into the glutes. I know your legs are probably shaking now, so are mine. We got this. Beautiful. Lift up slightly and try to ravel into eagle, wrapping that right leg around the left. And the arms, trying to meet palms. Use your breath, find your focus point. On your next exhale, slowly unravel the legs. You can keep the arms where they are or release them, coming into a warrior 3. Extend the right leg back behind. Nice and steady. Find your control. And when you've found your warrior 3, bend the right knee, tap the left leg, send it back. Slowly shift your weight standing, keeping the right leg straight. Sweep it up in front of you. Release the arms. And sweep it back one time. Use the arms to help you balance. And sweep it back up in front. Bend the knee and come into your version of tree. Come back to your center. Ground down through the left foot. Take one big full breath here. And then gently release. Prepare for the other side. Lift the left knee. Come in through chair a little bit here. Make it a little easier. Cross this left knee over the right. Hands heart center. Feel your heart beating here. Come in tune with the body. Maybe feel some sweat, some heat. And when you're ready, travel into your eagle, wrapping the left leg around. Practicing our focus, practicing our awareness, mind-body connection. And on your next out breath, unravel the legs. Come nice and slow. Take your time into your warrior three. No need to rush here. This is all for you. Then bend the left knee, tap the back of the leg, send it back out. Start to shift the weight, coming back up, still with the left leg nice and long, send it out in front. And back, sweep it back, warrior three. We're getting so strong here in mind and body. We love it. All right, back in. And find your tree pose. Squeezing with the glutes, sending the left knee back. Beautiful. One big breath. And on your exhale, gently release the foot. Maybe bend the knees a little bit, work out through the bottoms of the feet. And then release into Malasana. Bend the knees, sink the hips down low, reach the chest high. Find some connection here with this grounding pose. Maybe some physical connection to your mat. Some mental connection to yourself and all that you just did. Whatever you're feeling, whatever you're noticing, be there in the now to feel it and notice it. This is the only moment that you will. And plant the fingertips on the mat in front of you. Come down onto the right shin, still with the left foot up. Sink down, find a little seated goddess pose. Make sure that this feels comfortable for you. Just a little groin opening. Beginning to cool the body down after all of that. And then we can swing that left leg over the right knee and come into cow face pose, stacking the knees, sending the feet out, rooting down through the sit bones, wiggle in, reach the arms up, bend the elbows and send the right arm behind the back. Try to reach fingertips, open the chest. Just a few breaths here. Exhale, release the hands. Hug this top knee into the chest, plant the foot, and find a twist that works for you. Keeping the sit bones down on the mat. Finding a little recovery for your spine, for your breath. Exhale, release. Carefully unravel. Come onto the left shin and point the right toes to the corner of the mat. Lift the chest up nice and high because you just did amazing work. Let it all sink in. Maybe we even find a little smile on our face. And carefully cross the right leg over the left, coming into cow face pose. Reach those feet out. Find your comfortable position. And then reach the arms up. This time the left arm comes behind the back. Just a few breaths here. Maybe folding a little bit forward to reach deeper into the glutes. This was quad and glute day. And lifting the chest on your inhale, release the hands. Find your nice twist. Moving carefully. Lifting up and pulling the knee in. And then gently unraveling, turning to the long edge of the mat, if you weren't already. Extending the legs out for a nice straddle, flexing the feet. And just gently forward fold. Maybe placing the forearms on the mat, maybe reaching out with the fingertips. Just a few breaths here. Not rushing the cool down. We don't need to race off to our other duties yet. Still in this moment for yourself on the mat. And gently pressing up on your next exhale. Reaching for the right foot, we can find a little side stretch, or maybe we turn towards the right foot. Letting your body lead you in this moment. See what you need. Take care of yourself first. And then whenever you're ready, switching sides. Maybe taking a little mixture of both. Gently coming back up, bending the knees, and finding a little caterpillar pose, planting the heels, flexing the feet, reaching for the toes, rounding through the back. And exhale, release the feet, plant the feet together, let the knees knock together, and roll down onto the back. Close the eyes for a moment. And just let yourself be and breathe. listening to the sound of your breath. Maybe noticing if you feel any different than before you began this practice. Releasing tension in the forehead and the jaw. Enjoying a few more precious moments with yourself. And this is where we end our practice today. So by all means, if you need to continue your Shavasana, please do. You have earned it. You will deserve it. But thank you so much for joining me in this yoga workout practice today. It is such an honor to share these with you, and I thank you for trusting in me to guide you. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. I look forward to the next time we see each other again on the mat. Have a beautiful rest of your day, my friend.